Good evening, guys. It's your boy Vex here. We are back again with the Super Formula series. You'll be pleased to hear that my voice is back to normal again. I think I've just all about shifted this lurgy that I've had. So feeling a lot better, and hopefully this week will be a bit more exciting for you guys. So Watkins Glen, this is round 4 of the Super Formulas, and this was the first introduction of the sprint qualifying. There's going to be 2 more sprint qualifiers throughout the series, only 4 more races left after this one. So I believe it's this one, then Nürburgring GP is going to be a sprint race, Suzuka is going to be normal, and then I think it's the last one, which is Kyoto Driving Park, Yamagibi Miyabi, that is also going to be a sprint race. So without further ado, this is the grid after the sprint race. I will bring you the sprint race next week, but I just thought I'd leave it out for round 4. If you've got any complaints, then feel free to let me know. But anyway, we've got Toten, he's there on pole. Brian Moncani, he brought it home in 2nd place in the sprint. Wayne G was 3rd in the sprint, so he's there in 3rd place. Lacko, he's 4th. Petrol Junkie 5th. Smokey Tom 6th. Dan Bailey 7th. Ice Chand 8th. Molson 9th. Pickle 10th. So Pickle, he's come in for a consecutive week. I think he may be possibly a permanent slot now. Ice Chan standing in for Blue Blazer. And I believe we were missing Petrol this evening as well. But yes, we've got Molson in 9th, we've got Pickle is in 10th, Graham is in 11th, Vex is in 12th, Asbo is 13th, and Smurf is 14th. So I know it says that we've actually got 2 places on the grid, but then places are unfortunately taken. So if you're wanting to get in on the Super Formulas, you will have to wait or put your name down as a reserve. But without further ado, should we get into it? And they're off. Toten getting a good getaway, it looks like. Brian not managing to get past him, but it looked like Lasco going for the move there. He's going for the move into turn 1. He's going to manage to make it stick. No, so Brian managing to edge ahead of Lasco. Lasco's actually now under pressure from Wayne G. Wayne G's trying to make a move. He's going around the outside. He's managed to get it done. He has got it done. He's got it done nicely. We've also got Smokey Tom in the mix there as well. He's also had a good getaway, so Lasco now looking for the move into the bus stop. Is he going to be ahead as they come into the bus stop? Is Wendy G going to keep his foot in? And he is ahead into the bus stop. This is a very fast sector, this one. I think everyone trying to get through the bus stop at full throttle. Some managing it better than others. Smokey Tom, so he's now moved up to 5th place. Ice Chand is there in 6th. He's being hounded now by Pickle. He's in 7th. In fact, it looked like he just moved over to let Pickle take that inside line, so maybe Raj's not feeling too comfortable here. I know he said open wheel wasn't really his cup of tea, but he's here this evening and he's making it work. He's in that beautiful Mercedes livery there. We've got a couple of Mercedes in this race actually. There's Petrol Junkie. So Petrol Junkie is here. He's just closed right up onto the back of Ice Chan. So it's Blue Blazer. Blue Blazer wasn't here, and I think Petrol said he might not be here this week. I know he had some issues with his back, so he was out for Catalunya, which was round 5, the one after this one. As I say, I've been a little bit late with the videos. This is from 2 weeks ago now. I've had quite a bad cold slash potential COVID, but posting negative results, so obviously isn't the COVID. Asbo's there in 9th place. Don't think he's made up any places, but he's also not dropped any either. Or has he made up a place? I think actually he was behind Vex, so I think he has made up a couple of places. Vex is down there in 10th place. He's being chased down by Graham. Vex not having a very good season so far this season, but then it's been the story of his Friday night championship hopes. Seemingly doing quite well, and then obviously putting a foot wrong and ending up off the track or getting involved in an incident, so hopefully he's not going to be having too many of them this evening. Graham. He's there in 11th. So yeah, Graham's there in 11th. Dan Bailey, he's all the way down in 12th currently. And Molson's all the way down in 14th. So not too sure what happened there. We're going to have to go on board the race leaders in a minute because Toten is still ahead at the moment. But I think with Brian, he's going to be sizing up that move. So yeah, Molson, he's really on the back foot this evening, isn't he? Not really finding his feet and finding himself all the way down at the back of the pack. Actually picking up a penalty there as well. So yeah, not really sure. Not sure what happened. Meanwhile, Toten's still in first place. He's not managed to get away from Brian. Brian is still firmly with him. Definitely within, I think he's just within slipstream range. Obviously not wanting to give Toten too much breathing space. We have seen how he can just drive off when that happens. So Brian Mulcahy currently with the fastest lap of 1:23.204. But as you just saw there, Toten, he was sent fastest sector, so he might steal that fastest lap. And he has with a 1:22. Oh, but then Brian steals it back again. So Toten, he managed to do a 1:22.5 something, I think it was, which beat Brian Mulcahy's previous fastest lap. But now Brian's also pumped in a fastest lap of 1:22.471. It is looking like he is on a bit of a charge. He's definitely got Toten in his sights. I think this one might go down to the wire, or it may play out into strategy. Who's got the better strategy? I think I've explained before, but in these races you can only use one set of each compound, so one set of softs, one set of mediums, one set of hards. Obviously the tyres that you choose for qualifying don't count towards them sets, or don't count as a single use, but the tyre that you qualify on, you must start the race on. So obviously, if you go into pit and you decide that your mediums aren't worn enough to swap, you can obviously come back out on worn mediums, but you must not take on a fresh set of mediums. Once you've used the mediums, that's it. You must move on to another set of another compound tyre. So currently, we still have Toten in first place. We have Brian Mulcahy chasing him down in second place. That's a great view that one is, isn't it? And it does look like he's starting to catch him now. Will we see the move come into the bus stop? He's sizing it up. He's trying to set that move up. He's been setting it up for the last couple of corners. Is he going to go for it? I don't think he's quite close enough, or he wasn't quite close enough then, so we're trying to put the pressure on Toten slightly. Maybe try and force him into an error. I think this is definitely where the action is at the moment, but we will have a run down through the grid just shortly. I'm just paranoid about missing the move. It may even come in the pits. You know, Toten may stay out for longer than Brian does, or Brian may stay out for longer than Toten does, so we'll have a quick rundown. Looks like we've had our first retirement as well. So we've got Toten in first place, Brian is in second place, Lasco, he's holding on to third place currently, Pickle chasing him down in fourth place. Not far off the back of him either is Pickle, so he's having a decent run again this evening. Wayne G, he's there in fifth. Smoky Tom. Oh, Smoky Tom, he just collected the barrel. Oh, there's been some contact between him and I think it was Petrol, and it's all got a little bit messy. I think Smoky at the barrier tried to get out of the way, and I think Petrol, he also tried to go around Tom but chose the wrong way to go, and I think they ended up clattering together. That was just an unfortunate racing incident. I think the stewards have looked at it and they have deemed it a racing incident, so that's unlucky there for Petrol. He was on a bit of a flyer, wasn't he? Smoky Tom, he's suffered some damage, so he's lost some momentum in that car now. He's actually got Vex. Vex is managed to get past him. It looked like he moved over for Vex there, so Vex moving up to 8th place. Smoky Tom, dropping down to 9th. They are on, no, they're on the same compound. I thought they were on different compounds. I thought Vex was on the faster compound. I thought he was on the soft, but he is on the mediums, the same as Smoky. So we've got Graham not far off the back of Smoky Tom as well. He's in 10th place. Petrol dropping all the way down to 11th, so he's not actually lost that many places, to be fair. He was going to get the overtake done on Smokey, but as you see, Smokey clipped the wall there on the left-hand side, came back across. I think he was trying to get out of the way, get off the racing line, expecting Petrol to stay on the left on the racing line, but Petrol obviously moved over to the right as well. They had a bit of a coming together. Fortunately, there's not a real damage model in GT Sport. It is basically just visual, otherwise I think they would both be dead. Dan Bailey, he's in 12th. And as it says on his halo there, he is on YouTube. Smurf is in 13th. He's still getting his head down though, isn't he? He's a little way off the rest of the pack now, but he may be a master of strategy. His strategy may come into play. I think he's just enjoying it this evening anyway. He said he actually said to me that, you know, it's the most fun he's had on Gran Turismo for a long time as a Super Formula series, so good to see him back as well. And Moulton, yeah, Moulton's had enough. I think he's having some mechanical issues with that car. I think they've actually sheared one of the wheel nuts off, so I think he's had a Valtteri Bottas moment of was it 2019 or 2020 where they sheared the nut off and they can't actually get that wheel off to change the wheel, so he's now stuck in the pit. Toten still currently in first place. He's got a little bit of a gap now, hasn't he, to Brian, so he has managed to extend that gap somewhat. Brian's still there though, he can definitely see him in his mirror still. I certainly wouldn't write Brian off yet. We have seen how fast both of these guys can be. Brian off to a bit of a shaky start at the start of the season, but he's definitely found his rhythm now. He's putting Toten under all sorts of pressure. I think the gap has closed somewhat in the championship as well, so with the introduction of the sprint races, it may make things a bit closer. Toten just starting lap 9. Brian's going to follow him through second place. Pickle managing to get the move done on Wayne G. He's moved up to third place. Or was he actually ahead of Wayne G? I think they've got past Lasco. So Lasco, I think Lasco's had a moment. He's dropped down to 5th place. Pickle's moved through to 3rd, and Wayne G, he's in 4th. .5 minutes through this race. This is obviously a 50-minute race, so we've got another 39 minutes remaining, or 38.5. Quick math. Lasco. Currently in 5th. He was in 3rd, wasn't he? He was in that 3rd position, that 3rd podium slot, but I think he must have had a moment. We can see his softs are coming towards the end of their lifespan. Definitely approaching the expiry date. Asbo's moved up to 6th place. So I think there must have been a bit of squabbling going on. Asbo managing to get through to 6th place now. He's having a great race, isn't he? Ice Chan with a huge lockup. We call him Smokey Ice Chan, but he's definitely Smokey Ice Chan this evening. I'll still board him in a minute, see if he sometimes they get big lock up down. Oh, so we've got people in the background. I think people in the background are coming together. I think we missed it. I think there was a bit of a concertina into that corner, and I think Vex came off worse, and I think he's actually dropped down the order. I'm not sure, but I think Petrol was ahead of Smokey, and I think Vex was ahead of Petrol, and I think there may have been the slightest bit of contact. Again, I think the stewards looked at it, and I think they've chalked it up to a racing incident, so nobody getting any penalty points this time, but just a reminder to everyone, if you do have some contact with someone causing them to go off, then you should wait for them. Petrol managing to get that move done on Smoky Tom. That was a great move there from Petrol. He has moved ahead into that 8th position again. He's going to be chasing down Ice Chand. Ice Chand actually trying to chase down Asbo now as well. Slight lift there from Petrol. Coming around the sweeping right-hander. Smoky Tom 9th. Oh, Ice Chand. It's gone ball with Ice Chand quickly. He's just picked up a 0.5 second penalty. I think he might lose that position now to Petrol. Yeah, he's moved off the racing line. Petrol getting through easily. Ice closing back up though. Smoky Tom's there as well. He's going to have to start going defensive, isn't he? Otherwise he's going to lose that place to Smoky Tom. Oh, Smoky Tom nearly bounced off the back of Raj there. Graham Ali, he's moved up to 10th. So Graham currently in 10th place. I think we're going to start seeing people start to pit soon. Dan Bailey, he's moved up to 11th. Oh, he's all sorts of out of shape on them mediums. We have seen Dan has got some brilliant strategies though. He's been a brilliant strategist so far this championship, so maybe this is part of his strategy. He's just taking it easy at the back, and I think he'll come into play later in this race. Obviously still in the early stages of this race. The first third. Vexed in 12th. See, he is still suffering slightly from some of that sideways porpoising. Otherwise known as lobby stability. Smurf, he's there at 13th. Trying to get the most out of mediums, it looks like. And Mawson in the pit. So Toten's still in the lead. Still ahead of Brian Mancani. Brian Mancani's closed right up. We see the first of our pitters. Pickle's into the pits. Wayne G's into the pits. Both going in on soft, so they will come out on a different compound. Unless they're going to choose to run their worn softs again. Stay on board with these two for just a minute, see who decides to pit first. Smurf is probably going to be getting blue flag now, but as you can see, he's not in any danger of causing any shenanigans or slowing anyone down at the moment. But he has moved right over, he's moved right onto the racing line, so great sportsmanship there from Smurf. He saw the blue flag, he obviously did see the two lads coming up behind him, he's moved well over, let them continue racing. It looks like Brian's actually managed his tyres a lot better than Toten has. As you can see on the graphic there, Toten's front right looks better than Brian's front right, but Toten's rear left, sorry, if you look at the front, well actually yeah, both the rears on Toten's are nearly gone. His fronts are holding on for dear life. Brian, he's definitely got more meat in them tyres. I think he's going to see the move coming now. He's on the overtake, he's going up the inside, he's managed to get it done, he's gone past Toten. Toten going to be trying to re-challenge him coming into the bus stop. I think he's going to try and stay with him. We've got on board with Toten. He's not using any of that overtake though, so maybe he's decided that his tyres haven't got enough grip to be able to challenge Brian, re-challenge him for that lead. And you can see Brian has definitely got the better tyres, hasn't he? He's still got some meat left on them rears. That's going to give him the better traction coming out of the corners. He'll be able to get that power down a lot quicker than Toten will. And you can see he is starting to try and extend that gap already. Be interesting to see who pits first out of these two. We will have a quick rundown as well after we see our leaders pit. So Toten, you can see his rear tyres are absolutely shot now. Brian's are holding on for dear, well, his rear right is holding on for dear life. The left is gone. He stayed out. Toten stayed out as well, so we'll come back to these two in just a second. Brian's in first place, Toten in second place. Lasco's moved back up to third place, or moved back up to third place. He's retaken it after Gwinnell and I think it was Pickle, Aidan Pickering. They've both served their pit stop, or their first pit stop. We'll check on their tyres in just a second as well. So Petrol having a great drive as well, isn't it? He's found himself up in fourth place. Definitely finding some pace tonight in these Super Formulas. Smoky Tommy's in fifth place currently. I think he's still yet to pit. Ice Chan, he's in sixth. And Danny Bailey's managed to creep up onto the back of him. He's moved up to seventh place. He was in 11th last time we checked in, so on a bit of a charge now, Danny Bailey. I think he's definitely got his tyres into the optimum operating temperatures. And Graham's dived into the pit. So Vex has gone for it. What is going on there? Why was Vex smoking all the way down the straight? I think he's having issues with that car. It's definitely a lock-up or something as he was coming down the straight, or maybe he forgot to change the oil. Not entirely sure, but all sorts of smoke coming off of that car. Wayne G, so he's dropped to 9th, Pickle behind him in 10th. Obviously, crucially, Brian and Toten still yet to pit. Asbo dropping all the way down to 11th, so he must have had a moment. And Graham, as we saw, Graham was in the pit. Smurf, he's in 13th, he's choosing not to pit yet. Molson. Brian and Toten staying out for another lap. Look at Toten's tyres. Oh, there's not a lot left on them at all, but they've almost run them rears to the rim. I'm sure if we was to inspect them, we'd see bits of thread and all sorts hanging out the back of them tyres, but they're managing to make them work still. I'm not quite sure how, but putting on an absolute masterclass this evening. And Toten actually not too far off the back of Brian as well, so Brian not managing to extend as much of a gap as I think he would have liked to have done. I think it's all still to play for. Now, are either one of them going to come into the pit on this lap? Because they're surely not going to get many more laps out of them tyres. We're on lap 15. They've made them go for 15 laps on the softs. Is Brian going to go into the pit? No, he stayed out. Toten not going for the undercut either. He stayed out. Lasco, is he going to pit? Almost red on all four corners. He is in a scarlet Ferrari, but I don't think he wants his tyres to be as scarlet as they are, to be quite honest. But Petrol starting to catch him now as well. So, Petrol with a huge moment in the background. He managed to hold it though. It was a great save there from Petrol. I thought he was going to lose it, but Lasco choosing to stay out. So his tyres are definitely going to be dead by the time he pits. Petrol is catching him, isn't he? But is he going to have the fuel? He's definitely got the tyres. We're on board with Petrol Junkie currently. Brian Moncani and Toten still first and second. And it looks like they've stayed out for another lap as well. We will check in with them in just a second. In fact, that must be them just up ahead, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, so they've not come back to the pit lane just yet. I imagine they will be pitting this lap. You see the grip advantage that Petrol Junkie had. Lasco, he's decided not to fight it. He hasn't got a grip for it. He's not got the tyres for it. Look at the state of them softs. He's used them to the absolute maximum. So Brian and Toten have chosen to stay out for another lap. Toten is on completely dead tyres, the same as Lasco. I think we're going to see Lasco pit. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Petrol pit. I'm not sure he's going to get another lap on that fuel, but he has. He's stayed out. Lasco diving in, so Lasco, he's going to go for the undercut now. Get rid of them used softs. Danny Bailey, is he going to move through into 4th position? And he surely is, isn't he? He might come out just ahead of Petrol. Or Petrol might come out just behind him. In fact, no, Ice Chan. I think Ice Chan's managed to make it through as well, and he has. We see Lasco's just starting to come out of the pits now, I think. Oh, is he still in there? No, he's still in. Wayne G's, he's moved through, so he's moved up to 6th place. Pickle, he's moved up to 7th place. Asbo, he's got through as well, he's moved up to 8th. Lasco only just coming out of the pits now, so is Smoky Tom going to get through? I don't think he is. So yeah, Lasco back on track now, back out in 9th place. He has got a new set of mediums. In fact, we've got to check... So Smurf's actually managed to make it up to 11th place. Great driving there from Smurf. I'm sure he'll probably be getting rid of them mediums soon, but so far, some fantastic driving there from Gary Smith. Graham, he's in 12th currently, and there we go. There you go. You see Smurf dive into the pits. He's going to get rid of them. He was on mediums, wasn't he? He's going to get rid of that medium compound. So Vex, I think Vex is going to move through to 12th. So yeah, Smurf dropping down to 13th. He will be coming out of the pits shortly. Molson, he's retired. He's still out on them tyres, is Brian. I'm not sure how he's doing it. Oh, we can see that in that shot there. Oh, look at that. Look at the graining on them tyres. That has got to be like driving on ice cubes at the moment. I'm surprised he's got any grip whatsoever. I'm surprised he's not actually sliding through every corner, but he's making it look easy, isn't he? So some great driving there from Brian. I think this is going to be it. This will be where he pits, and he's staying firmly in the pit entry. There he goes. Toten, he's going to follow him in. So Wayne G. Is Wayne G going to move up to 2nd place? I think he's too far back at this point. Wayne G on softs or was he on mediums? I think he's gone soft mediums, Wayne G. I think he was on the softs to start off with, and he got rid of them fairly early, a few laps ago. Now on the mediums. Pickle choosing to go for the racing hards. Not too far off the back of Wayne G, so could be a good strategy here from Pickle. We've seen he can be quite a good strategist as well. Asbo moving back up to 5th place. But it looks like he's not fueled. I think he's pitted, but he's forgot to fuel. And it looks like he's possibly trying to fuel save slightly. I think he definitely is going to have to pit this lap. And yeah, he has. He's dived in. He's going to have to go and get some fuel. That's unlucky, Asbo. His car's also disappeared, and then it's come back again. That was some... great voodoo magic. Dan Bailey, he's dived into the pit, so Asbo, he should technically come out in front of Dan Bailey. He hasn't got to change his tyres as Asbo, so I'm sure he'll come out on them warm mediums. He's only done a few laps on them. Petrol, I think he's going to get through, and he is. So he's going to move up to 5th. 6th even. Smoky Tom's going to get through as well. He's going to take that 7th place away from Dan Bailey. Dropping them both down the order to 8th and 9th. Is Ice Chan going to get through? Here he comes. Here comes Ice Chan. And he also does as well, so he manages to get past Dan Bailey and Asbo. Dan Bailey and Asbo dropping down to 9th and 10th. Asbo 9th, Dan Bailey 10th. Asbo is coming out now. Dan Bailey, yeah, he's still fueling up, so yeah, that was definitely it. Asbo, he forgot to fuel. So he's now back out with a full tank. He's on a somewhat fresh set of mediums. Obviously, they're a few laps old, but he's going to be putting the work in now, isn't he? Graham, he's in 10th. Vex in 11th. Vex closing up onto the back of Graham. In fact, it looked like Graham starting to pull away from him slightly, but Vex again, closing right up to Graham. Graham with a huge lock-up. Masses of smoke coming off there. I'm not sure what happened there. It looked like Graham backed out. He didn't want none of that, did he? I think he maybe trying to make the most of the slips. Oh, it was Asbo. Asbo's off. Asbo having a moment. He's dropping down the order again. It's unlucky, Asbo. I think he just dipped the wheel slightly off on the left there, tagged the grass, which sent him around, and somebody's obviously clattered the barriers there on the left-hand side. You can see him almost strewn over the road. So yeah, I think Graham, he's decided that Vex had the pace and grip advantage, being on the softer compound, so I think he's just let him through. He's trying to get them hards into their operating window. Asbo, that was unlucky from Asbo. Not being challenged at the moment by Dan Bailey, so he can just keep his head down at the moment, try and get back into the race. Just approaching the 30-minute mark, so there's going to be 20 minutes left. Or just over 20 minutes left currently. Dan Bailey's in 12th, or he's dropped down to 12th. He managed to make his way back up to 6th or 7th. I think he was 6th, wasn't he? Behind Asbo in 5th. Or was it 6th and 7th? I can't quite remember. It was only 30 seconds ago or so. Never mind. Anyway, Dan Bailey, he's managed to pick up a 0.5-second penalty. He hasn't got to worry about anyone just yet, though. He's not being challenged by anyone, but he's also not going to get onto the back of anyone just yet either. In fact, I think, who is that coming behind him? I think it might be Brian Moncani and Toten. We'll have a look around this corner. Sure we should see it. I don't know, actually. Our cameraman's not very with it today, and we see, yeah, Dan Bailey is starting to get blue flagged. He is still way ahead of the race leaders. You just see him coming around that final turn there. Yeah, it's Brian McCartney. He's starting to get onto the back Dan. Dan's still not in any he's not causing any issues at the moment, so he's well within his rights to carry on racing. But Brian Moncani is now within a couple of car lengths. I think we will see Dan move over within the next few corners. Yeah, and he has there, look, you see. Well done, Dan. Moving over to let the race leader through. And he has got quite a gap now, hasn't he? Oh, it's Wayne G. So Wayne G managing to get past Toten. What happened to Toten? I don't know what happened there, but Wayne G, he has managed to get through. He's managed to split Brian and Toten. Toten, he's quite a way off the back of him now as well, isn't he? It's a great driving here this evening from Wayne G. Let's hope he remembers the tyre rules this evening. Obviously ending up with a 5-point penalty in one of the races. In fact, I think he may have done it. Yeah, it was one of the races, and then the second race he pitted for the hards, so he'd only use the second of the same compound for a lap, so managing to get away with a warning on that one. He's on a flyer now, isn't he? Obviously still not close enough to Dan Bailey for Dan Bailey to be causing any issues. He's just going to be feeding off of that slipstream. He'll probably use it to slingshot past Dan in the next few corners. But it is a bit premature of GT7 to start showing the blue flags when they do. I feel it can be a little bit distracting to the drivers. I know a few of them, including myself, have complained about it on one occasion or more. Dan Bailey moving over there for Wayne G. He's going to have Toten on the back of him soon as well. So looking like going for the softer compounds first is definitely the fastest strategy this evening. As I say, I think all Brian, Wayne and Toten all using the suit softs in the first stint, now currently on the mediums. Although Pickle, he's actually gone for a bit of a different strategy. He's there in 4th place. He's actually gone from softs to hards, or has he gone from mediums to hard? I can't quite remember now. What tyre was he on? Lasco, he's dropped all the way down to 5th now as Lasco. He was up in 3rd place, wasn't he? But finding himself in 5th currently. Petrol, he's having a great outing this evening as well, isn't he? Petrol, he's currently in 6th place. I think he went for mediums in his first stint. So this is obviously his 2nd stint. He's on the softs. Smoky Tom also opting for the mediums to softs. I can't imagine you'll get 2 stints out of softs, so I imagine he'll be going on to the hards next. Ice Chand, he's currently in 8th on the softs. We did see he was on the mediums, wasn't he? Vexed also on the softs. Another one of the medium to soft guys. Oh, he was almost a bit out of shape through there. He kept his boot in all the way through, having to lift off for the sweeping right-hander. In fact, he scrubbed off quite a bit of speed there, didn't he? Asbo, oh no, Asbo's had a moment, he's going to have to watch his rejoin. He is getting blue flagged. Oh no, Toten clattering the side of Asbo. That's unlucky, Asbo. That's unlucky, Toten as well. Actually not slowing Toten down too much, but it did give him a 3-second penalty. That is definitely a bit strange. He's not under any pressure from anyone at the moment, obviously apart from Dan Bailey, but Dan Bailey is one of the back markers, so Toten hasn't got to worry about losing a place to Dan Bailey. Dan Bailey's going to now try and unlap himself. Asbo, that was unlucky from Asbo. I think maybe he just didn't see the blue flags as he was trying to rejoin, and I think if he had done, he probably would have checked the track map and then realised that somebody was coming along. I think maybe he'd even started rolling the car and then couldn't get it stopped again. I'm not too sure, but definitely another racing incident. Super unlucky. Wayne G diving into pits for a 2nd time. He'll be getting rid of them mediums now, won't he? Graham's currently in 12th. He's on the hards. Smurf, he's in 13th. Not miles off the back of Graham, I don't think, but he's having a bit of a lonely race at the moment, this Smurf. Still currently ahead of Mawson, who's obviously, like we said, he had his pit crew had some wheel gun issues. They threaded that wheel nut, couldn't get it off. You're going to have to get the mechanics out or the engineers out to come and take that nut off, probably heat it up, I imagine, and get some grippers on it. And I may even just change the whole hub assembly, leave the wheel on there. Toten. So Toten is quite a way off the back of Brian now. I think that 1st place is slowly slipping away unless he may be able to strategize and maybe still come out on top, but as you can see, Brian he's now at the bus stop. Brian's at the bus stop, he's way ahead. Toten only just coming through turn 2. up to turn 3. Now this is the approach to the bus stop. Pickle still currently in 3rd place. He's on the hards. He is starting to he's going to start getting whiffs of Lasco in his rear view though. Lasco is on the faster compound as well. He's on the mediums, looking to try and keep Petrol at bay and try and get past Pickle. Oh, it's Petrol. He's gone for it. He did go for a bit of a lunge there, didn't he? Maybe thinking he had the grip advantage. Thinking better of it last minute though. Lasco covering it off. He shut that door, and it was a good job that Petrol didn't fully send it. Otherwise, he would have gone straight into the back of Lasco. Lasco doing well to avoid them signs there. I'm not sure who hit them and pushed them out of the way. Petrol Junkie, he's actually managed to get past Pickle now as well. So Petrol taking up that 4th position. Pickle is in 5th. I'm not sure why we've got a yellow flag. Oh, who was that? Who was that? It was Asbo. Asbo, no. So Asbo not having the greatest of races this evening. We'll go back on board with, who was it? It was Lasco, wasn't it? Lasco managing to get past Petrol and Pickle. Petrol managing to get past Pickle as well. He's moved back up to 4th place. I think he'll probably be thinking about getting rid of them softs in the next couple of laps though. They are starting to look a little bit worse for wear. Pickle, he's doing a great job on them hards though. Currently in 5th place. We've seen how fast this guy can be as well in these super formulas. Wayne G. Wait a minute. Wayne G has come out again on a fresh set of mediums. Wayne G, why you do this?
Stinky.
His answer:
I'm a jelly bean.
Yeah, you are a jelly bean, Wayne G, and you should know the rules by now, son. But we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I think, in fact, I'm pretty sure I remember during the race he did remember, or he realised that he'd come out on another set of mediums, and he does in fact pit and take on the hards. There you go, yeah, he's pit. I think he'll be taking on the hards now, so that was penalty enough in itself. Not actually gaining an advantage over the rest of the field, so I think we will see him change as he comes back on the track. Anytime today.
Wrong.
And there you go, we can see they've changed on the graphic on the bottom left hand side there to racing hards. So Wayne G, he's rejoined in 5th place. He's lost. He was in 2nd, wasn't he? So Tota now moving up to 2nd place. Lasco currently in 3rd. Petrol Junkie following him there in 4th. And it does look as though the field are quite spread out now. Smurf taking a very, very deep line there as to not get in the way of the other drivers. He is well versed in racing, his Smurf. Oof! That was a bit of a sketchy line there from Smurf. Obviously collects a bit of the wall there. I think he's had enough of them tyres now. I think he's going to be looking to change them. Obviously not this lap. He's now missed the pit lane, but Petrol, he's trying to make the most out of them softs, isn't he? His rear left is completely gone now. Wayne G, he's in 5th place, but who's that behind him? Brian. Wayne G was trying to challenge Brian. Now, Brian is crucially, is he going to come up and lap Wayne G? I don't think Wayne G's ever been lapped. So Brian on an absolute stormer. Not stopping for no one. Ice Chan's dived into the pits. He'll be coming back out on the hards, I'm sure. So Wayne G, he is getting blue flagged, but he's not. Brian's not close enough to cause an issue at the moment, so he's not going to be moving over just yet. He's just going to be trying to keep his head down and not worry too much about the blue flags. Although Brian he's gaining on him with every turn, isn't he? Or in every turn. Just the advantage that the mediums have over the hards. Oof. You see both Brian and Pickle dipping a wheel onto the dirt there. Kicking up a bit of dust. Asbo's moved right over to let Wayne G through. Oh, kind of moving back onto the racing line there as well, though. I think perhaps he didn't see Brian come in. And Pickle. But yeah, he's moved over there. So Wayne G, he's moved through. Brian has moved through. Pickle has moved through. Pickle actually currently behind Brian. He's going to be trying to stick with him. He's actually changed for the racing mediums now, so we'll be taking the mediums to the end of the race. Obviously 6 minutes left of this race. Smoky Tom, he's there in 7th. Ice Chand is currently in 8th. Dan Bailey is getting onto the back of Ice Chand though, isn't he? He's there in 9th. Vexed, down in 10th. Graham's 11th. Asbo all the way down in 12th. And Smurf bringing up the rear in 13th, and obviously Mawson's still in the pits. Brian with a massive look up, he's looking for that move on Wayne G, trying to get past him. He's going to be getting blue flagged. Wayne G moving over. I think he's going to be getting out of the way. He is going to be getting out of the way, isn't he? He's not going to be wanting to hamper the race leader too much. In fact, both 5th and 6th, both giving Brian a run for their money. So Wayne G is going to have to concede that corner, and I think he's now just realised that Brian's trying to come through under blue flags. Wayne G's lost that position to Pickle though. Pickle's followed him through. Oh no, and he's spun and he's collected Asbo. That's unlucky, Wayne G. Oh no. That's so unlucky, man. So he lost 6th to Pickle. I mean, he lost 5th to Pickle, and oh, he hasn't lost any more places, but he span, didn't he? Almost taken Asbo out as well. That was so unlucky. So Brian's still being chased down by Pickle, but Pickle's not actually challenging him for track position. So Toten, he's there in 2nd place, but miles behind Brian now. I think Brian is coming up to the bus stop again. Toten only just coming up to turn 1. That's unlucky there, Toten. I'm not sure quite what happened. I think maybe he got caught up in a bit of traffic and just couldn't stay with Brian this round. Lasco back up to 3rd place. Putting the work in this evening is Lasco. Great driving. And Petrol. Go on, Petrol. As if from nowhere, Petrol, start of the season, he was mid to back of the field. Now he's fighting for 3rd place. Oh no, he's not. Well, he's 4th place, isn't he? So yeah, he could potentially be fighting for 3rd place. He's not as close to Lasco as he'd like to be, as Ice Chan just lets him through there. But yeah, he may well, by the end of this race, he may come into contention, but I wonder if he's going to have to get rid of them softs, or he's going to try and run them to the end of the race, because they're not going to feel very nice to drive on now, are they? As you look at the graphic on the bottom left there, they are completely dead again. So Petrol, currently 4th place. Pickle is currently in 5th place. He's on the racing mediums. Wayne G, he's in 6th. He's some way off Pickle now, isn't he? That's a shame. He was having such a great race. He kind of screwed himself over, really, though, having to go back in and slap the hard tyres on. And looks like Toten coming up to lap him now as well, so I think that'll be the 2nd time in Wayne G's life that he's been lapped. Smoky Tom. They're currently in 7th. looking like he was a little bit on the back foot, but that strategy's paid off for him. Doesn't have any mishaps. He should surely bring it home in 7th place. Or as I say that, he dips a couple of wheels off. Don't think he's going to slap him with a penalty though. They're quite lenient on that last turn, but he is going to have to watch it. Dan Bailey. Dan Bailey's managed to make it up to 8th place. Ice Chander's behind him in 9th, but he's managed to get through. His softs are completely dead now though, aren't they? Oh, Ice Chan with another lock up there. He's on the hards. Saved until the very last. He's not going to have to run for too many laps. I know some of the guys not really liking the hards. I don't think they're as bad as what they were on Sport. I think on Sport they were pretty much unusable. I think in GT7 they're a lot more of a viable tyre compound. Vexed, currently in 10th place. He was challenging Pedro at one point, but he's not anymore, is he? I think he had a couple of moments this evening, caught up in a couple of unlucky incidents and finding himself down in 10th place. Asbo, currently 11th. Graham, currently 12th. He's starting to chase Asbo down though, isn't he? So Asbo's going to have to start throwing some defensive shapes in the next couple of laps, or the next couple of corners, as this is possibly going to be the final lap for these guys. Smurf 13th. So we'll go on board with our race leader. I think he is going to get through for another lap. And he does. Toten, is he going to get through as well? He does. I think Wayne G that was as well getting through. We have now hit the 50-minute mark, so yeah, some of these guys are going to be on the final lap. So Brian's still currently in 1st place, Toten currently in 2nd, HRT Lasco is in 3rd place, Petrol Junkie is in 4th, Pickle still currently 5th, Wayne G, I think he's going to be, oh no, alright, okay, there we go. So Toten, he's finished in 2nd place. Lasco, that was a bit of a weird one. Definitely a bit of a weird one. So Wayne G finishing in 6th place. Smoky Thomas finishing in 7th. Dan Bailey currently 8th. But it sounds like somebody's at the moment. Ice Chan's gone through. Ice Chan's gone through. He's taking that place off of Dan Bailey. I think Vex might get through as well. Lasco's finished in 3rd. And there was a couple of Petrol finishing in 4th place. Pickle's going to finish in 5th. Winnie G 6th. Smoky Tom 7th. Ice Chant 8th. Vexed is 9th. Dan Bailey 10th. Graham Ali 11th. Asbo 12th. Smurf 13th. Molson 14th. And here is your race winner, Brian Moncani, just taking the checkered flag. Managed to do a victory lap, and what a great race he has had. And he also got the fastest lap on lap 34 of a 122.2. So yeah, that was round 4, guys. And the next one, we are at Catalunya. So I'll see you in the next one. I've been your boy Vex. Good night.